Hello, my name is Pawan Chandrasekhar and today's my topic is technical core Java. So I have decided to take the topic, the name is iterations in a Java. So what exactly the iterations in a Java is? So let's understand why we need iteration first. So see, if you want to print any of the statement multiple times, it's like if you want to print the hello world statement multiple time, so that's time we use iteration statement. So because due to the because of the help of the iteration statement we can use a single statement in a multiple time. So there are mainly three types of iteration statements in Java. So first is a for loop, second one is a while loop, and third one is a do while loop. So if we talk about the basic things of the that looping structure, so for loop is the entry control loop. It means that when the program is gonna execute in that the program is gonna execute, that's time for loop control the entry of that loop, while uh, while loop and do while loop is the sorry while loop is also entry control loop, but the do while loop is exit control loop. Why do while is exit control loop? Because in a do while loop, first the iteration is run at least at once, and then after that it checks the condition, either its condition is true or false. So that's why while loop is called as exit control loop. So let's discuss it one by one with the syntax. So first one is a for loop. So the for loop is used when we already know the specific condition, like when from where we want to initiate the condition and until where we want to run the statement. That's time we use for loop. So the syntax of for loop is like, first we have to declare a keyword, that is for, and then inside the parenthesis we initialize the keyword. After that we give the conditions like until when the loop will be continued, and then updation, that is initialization, condition, and updation. In updation there might plus operator. It means that there might increment, and another one is minus. It means there is a decrement operator. So it is the syntax of for loop. Let's take the example of for loop. So if I want to print hello world statement 100 times, so that's time what I have to do. So first I have to initialize one variable. So let's take the variable as int. Then I will write inside for loop, that is for loop is the keyword. So as we discussed the its syntax, so first we have to initialize the looping statement. So we initialize it as I equal to 0. Then we have to take conditions like until when the loop will be continue. So we take the conditions like I is less than or equal to 100. It means that the below statement is executed until the condition is false. So our condition will be false when the loop is reached at the 100 of the level. And last one is the updation. Updation means either if we want to increment or either we want to decrement. So it is plus plus. So we will take plus plus. So first what I have written. First I have written for int equal to 0. Int is less than or equal to 100, and in plus plus it means that I have initiated from 0. I have give conditions until 100, and I have updated the condition, it is plus plus. After that, if the condition is true, then the loop is enter inside the looping statement, and then the particular block of code will be executed. Like we have printed here system.out.println hello world. It means that this statement gives us output as 100 times hello world. So it is about the for loop. Next one is a while loop. While loop is also similar to for loop. In a while loop, the syntax of while loop is same as a for loop, but just the return method is different. In for loop also we have to initialize the statement. We have to initialize the data member, then we have to give conditions, and we have to update the statement. But in while loop we give it in a different way. As we see, in a for loop we initialize the data type inside the for loop, but in while loop we have to initialize, or we can initialize outside the loop. So we first initialize outside the loop, that is int I equal to 0 or something, whatever maybe, and then we give conditions inside the loop, that is while and particular conditions, and if this condition is true, then the particular while block will be executed. Like if we take the example like until the condition is false, it's like until the loop is continue up to the 5. So until that the loop is print as a hello world. So it is about the while loop. And next one is a do while loop. So do while loop, as we discussed at the beginning, do while loop is an exit control loop. Why do while is an exit control loop? Because as we see in for loop and while loop, for loop first checks condition and after that the particular block of code is executed. Similarly with the while loop also first check the condition and after that the particular block of code is executed. But if we see about the do while loop, it's a little bit different than about two loops. So in a do while loop, first the statement is print at least at once, and after that once the condition is true or once the statement is print, then after that the particular after that the condition is get checked, and then if the condition is true, then a particular block of code is executed, otherwise it break the code. So it is about the for loop, while loop and do while loop. This is about the iteration statement in a Java, and in that way the iteration statement is run. And why we use iteration statement? Because if you want to print a same statement again and again, that's time we use the iteration statement. So this is about the iteration statement in a Java. Thank you so much.